Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new YouTube video. In today's video, I'll be doing my top 10 players in 2023 NFL free agency. Before we get started, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 80 subscribers by the end of the year. And yeah, that's basically it. Let's get started. Number 10, I have Daron Payne. In my opinion, he's one of the most underrated defensive linemen in the NFL. He's such a dominant player, and yeah, really with him and Jonathan Allen on the interior, that really creates a disruptive force for the Commanders. Obviously, it would be nice for the Commanders to retain him, probably on a long-term contract. But yeah, I feel like if he does not get re-signed by the Washington Commanders, he could definitely easily be picked up by another team for a premium price. He'd definitely be getting paid top dollar. He is a great defensive lineman, and yeah, I feel like he's just going to get better as his career goes on. And he's a very young player, so he has many things to work on. So he can work on many things, and I feel like he's just going to get better as he gets older. Number 9, I have Jordan Poyer. He's definitely a player who, with the Buffalo Bills, has really revived his career. Before he was an all right safety, but when he went to now that he's on the Bills, he is a upper class / elite safety, and yeah, I'm a big fan of his. I like the way he plays, and yeah, I feel like if the Bills can retain him, that's definitely going to be a great signing for them, and but it will cost a lot of money. And but if any other team signs him on the open market, he will definitely get top dollar. Even though he is 31, I feel like he's still gonna be paid good money, probably around a 3-year deal, something around that. And yeah, I feel like he will definitely be a player many teams target in free agency. Number 8, I have Orlando Brown Jr. Him and the Chiefs have not agreed to a deal yet, so yeah, it's more than likely that he will sign with a different team in free agency. And with that signing, they're definitely going to have to pay him big money. He is a great offensive tackle, definitely one of the best blindside blockers in the NFL. And yeah, I feel like he's definitely going to get paid a lot of money. Obviously, for a lot of these guys on this list, they're going to be getting paid top of the market price. But yeah, I feel like he is a young player who is definitely just going to get better and better. Obviously, he doesn't have incredible speed, running the slowest 40-yard dash in NFL Combine history before he was drafted. But yeah, I feel like he's still going to be a great blocker for many years to come, and I feel like many teams will bank on that and sign him to a big deal in free agency. Number 7, I have Tremaine Edmunds. With this player, he's just going to get better as his career goes on. He's only 24 years old, and yeah, he has many years to still develop and perfect his craft. And I feel like already he is definitely a top 10 inside linebacker. And yeah, I feel like I don't believe the Bills will retain him. They did sign Matt Milano to a big contract, I believe, before the season started. So yeah, I feel like Tremaine Edmunds, if he lands with another team in free agency, it's going to be on a very big contract, probably somewhere around 4 or 5 years, due to his age and also the way he plays. He's just going to get better as his career goes on. I know I've said this for a couple of young guys on this list, but yeah, I feel like this is definitely probably the best case of that with Tremaine Edmunds. And yeah, I like the way he plays, and yeah, I'm excited to see where he goes. Number 6, I have Josh Jacobs. The Raiders are definitely regretting not signing his 5th-year option. Before that, he kind of looked like a little bit of a bust, but now he's obviously led the league in rushing yards. And yeah, he's definitely molded himself into a almost nearly, if not already, a top 5 running back in the NFL. And yeah, I feel like if teams sign him, they will probably sign him to one of, if not the highest contract for running backs in free agency. He's just a dominant player. And yeah, I feel like he will get paid top dollar in free agency. And if the Raiders don't retain him, I would be very surprised. Number 5, I have TJ Edwards. This might be a little high for him, but so far this season he's played like a monster. He's young and he has great tackling. He has great tackling skills and great speed. So for teams in free agency that need a true dominant linebacker in their second or in the middle of their field, can really run sideline to sideline and hit guys and wrap up really well. This is T.J. Edwards. He is definitely one of, if not one of the best players on the Philadelphia Eagles defense, and that is saying a lot because they have a ton of great playmakers all across their team. But on defense, they have a ton of great playmakers, and I feel like T.J. Edwards is definitely one of those playmakers. I believe he finished top 5 in tackles, led their team in tackles, and yeah, I'm a big fan of the way he plays. And I feel like he could get re-signed by the Philadelphia Eagles, just depending on their cap situation, with some re-signings they will probably need to do, and also players they will target in free agency. So yeah, it'll remain to be seen what happens with T.J. Edwards, but yeah, I feel like with any team that either retains him or signs him in the open market, they will be getting a great player. Number 4, I have Saquon Barkley. This kind of speaks for itself. Saquon has been one of like the best all-around players. He can receive the ball, he can run with the ball. Definitely elite in the open field, with some great agility and some good stiff arms and power, as well in his running style. And yeah, he's definitely top 10 running back, if not top 5. And yeah, I feel like hopefully the New York Giants can re-sign him. I feel like it'd be nice for Saquon to play out his career in New York. And yeah, he definitely deserves a top of the market contract with the way he plays. And I feel like he's definitely bounced back from the injuries in the recent years. So yeah, it'll be really interesting what happens with him in free agency. Same thing, kind of the similar thing with Josh Jacobs. But yeah, and it is next on to the next player. Number 3, I have Geno Smith. He is a guy that I believe the Seattle Seahawks will re-sign. They definitely are in the position to possibly take a quarterback, but with Geno Smith, he is definitely a great player. Obviously, he had like a career revitalization year with the Seattle Seahawks this year, finishing in top 5 in passer rating, and with some great stats, over 30 touchdowns, over 4,000 yards. Definitely great things from your signal caller, and I feel like Seattle Seahawks will pay some good money to retain him. And yeah, he has already come out and said that he wants to play the rest of his career with Seattle. I feel like Seattle can take that to heart and re-sign him to a pretty big deal in free agency. Number 2, I have Tom Brady. Obviously, he's the best to do it ever. That's without a question. So this probably will be his last year. Whether or not he will retire this year, but if he doesn't, teams are definitely going to sign him to a big contract. Obviously, he's the best to ever do it. And he can really turn around franchises that are in need of a quarterback. Obviously, they did that. The Buccaneers did that. They had a great team, but just needed a great signal caller to command it. And when they got Tom Brady, they immediately became a top 5 offense and top 5 team, really, and won the Super Bowl that year. So that really shows things with what Tom Brady can do with a team. And yeah, I feel like that definitely deserves to be seen at number 2. And if you were wondering where Lamar Jackson is on this list, he is at number 1. He is a young player with great mobility, obviously. And yeah, he's probably the most explosive player in the NFL. Can break away huge runs with just like making it look easy. And yeah, I feel like I don't believe he will get re-signed by Baltimore. They're having some contract struggles there. But yeah, I feel like with whatever team that gets him, he probably will get a market-setting deal, maybe even record-breaking. He wants guaranteed money, so I feel like a team with great cap space will definitely be able to sign him. And yeah, whatever team he goes on, they'll definitely be at least playoff contenders, if not Super Bowl contenders, with the level of their team. And yeah, that's why he's at number 1. I'm a huge fan of his. And yeah. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 80 subscribers by the end of the year. And yeah, see you guys in the next